how did that idea even came to you?
So one thing I'd like to say that through my entire life, I was never afraid of taking the first step. I was never afraid of starting something different.
When you were here, did you face any challenges, like anything that you always felt like that has saved you to what you are today?
The world is like, there is no end to it. There is
Or when you are just starting your career?
the day you are born.
So what kind of discussions should these young people should start with their accountant right now?
Well, they should first of all understand how the money works, how the financial world works.
Welcome to another episode of Inspire from Reality. As I have promised that in Inspire from Reality, we bring the real stories, the stories that are lived, the stories that are meant to be shared, but it is not actually shared always. Among us, there are so many people, those who have struggles, those who have achievements, those who have gone loved, those who have been seen disliked. There has been so many things. It's both up and downs that makes a person. And when those stories are shared, we don't know whom are we going to inspire. As we say, somebody's past might be somebody else present today. Today we have a guest whom I know for a couple of months, almost a year now, and I'm very inspired from his story. So he came here with a lot of dreams, almost 20 years back to Australia. There was dreams, there were a lot of hardship, and there was a lot of struggles. And also there was a lot of fun and a lot of achievements that he did. After having a corporate life of long 15 years, he decided to quit and start his own accounting practice. Today, he runs the accounting practice and he helps so many clients to grow their wealth, to be not scared of tax and to be correct on the books. So let's welcome Shan. Hi Shan, welcome to my show.
Thank you, Alka. Thanks for inviting me today. It's nice talking to you. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. And I'm very happy that I'm here today. Thank you.
Yes, as you know, whenever we start Inspire from Reality, we always believe people's past is what they build today. So somebody asked me long back, what is the one thing you want to change in your past? I said nothing, because I am what I am today from that.
Of course.
So let's start with the first thing. First of all, I'll let you introduce how was Shan as a child, where you were born, how did you migrate here, how was your college life, was that a bully, were you a good student, were you naughty, how did you meet your family, and how you migrated here, how did that idea even came to you? Please, let's start with that.
So one thing I'd like to say that through my entire life, I was never afraid of taking the first step. I was never afraid of starting something different and doing things on my own. Always I had my support from my parents and from my friends, relatives. But I was always the first one to take the opportunity, or you can say jump into new things. It's a very childish thing, but even on the first day of my school, I was waiting for a rickshaw. Basically, in those days, we used to go to school on a rickshaw. So my father organized one rickshaw, and it did not turn up actually. It was my first day in the school. I was very, very excited and happy, and I was just running around the street, and I was getting anxious that the rickshaw was not coming there. And then I just took my own initiative, and I just went into the next street, and I saw another rickshaw going through there, and I asked him, "Can you please take me to school? I don't have a rickshaw to go." And he was happy to take me, and then that's how I organized my own. It's such a small thing, but then I did it. I feel the same way even today. Whether the opportunity is there or not, I'm going to create it. I'm going to take the initiative. I'm not afraid of doing things differently. And even when I passed my year 12, or you can say year 10 itself, I decided to do something different. In those days, in my childhood, especially in the country that I grew up and in the area that I grew up, there were only two career choices. One was becoming a doctor or an engineer.
Yes.
If you are not a doctor or an engineer, you are no one.
You're a failure, yeah.
Fortunately, I had good marks and all that, reasonably good enough to get a seat in any college, which would take me to that path as a doctor or engineer. But then during my high school, I was working with a teacher, and I was very impressed by the discussion that we had, and I got interested in this financial world. I got interested in terms like money, economics, and how actually money, economics, financial strategies, they actually shape the world. It doesn't really matter how much technologically you are advanced. At the end of the day, the money is what that matters. Just to give you an example, and I think about that example throughout my entire life, we have grown so much in terms of technology. We have got nuclear science, we have got space science, we have got this digital world and whatnot, AI and everything. But still, today, I feel there are millions of people, if not billions, they don't even have a fan in their house. They don't even have a light to in their house to do studies. They don't even have facilities like clean water, clean environment, a standard road, or mediums of transport. And why is that? Because they don't have money. The government has not made that financial infrastructure properly there. The technology is there. It's 1,000 years ahead of technology, but people are still living in those conditions even today as we speak. So it's not about always not only about the technology, but also about how you manage your financial things. And so that drew my attention. I thought that I would do something in finance. I would study finance. I would try to do something for the world, and that's how I started my journey. Um, Cutting the long story short, then I decided to do my commerce graduation. And after finishing my commerce graduation, I decided to do chartered accountancy in India. And that's the premier course in India. If you're a chartered accountant, as we say, we can do anything in the finance world at least. We lot of chartered accountants are in different fields in life. And that's how I got started.
Wow. Wow. I loved that dialogue of his. Like, I mean, I can't get over it. If you don't see an opportunity, create for yourself. These days, there's a dialogue, right? If life throws you lemon, make a lemonade. It's exactly this. I mean, how beautiful is it that he has created those opportunities right starting from his childhood? Then how did you decide to come over here, like Australia?
That's another fantastic story. Just I'll take a couple of years before that. After I finished my chartered accountancy, I worked in some small time firms, small companies. Actually, I put myself in a not a, you can say, metro city as such. It was like a tier 2 city of Indore, and I was doing a job there. But I always had that ambition and vision to do something on the financial world, also with the use of technology. So I was very much engrossed in understanding the internet and what is the prospect of these financial softwares, database, and all that stuff. I used to do a lot of studies, even though there was no opportunity in my office actually to work where I was working. But then I got an opportunity to give an interview to Tata Consultancy Service, TCS. And they were looking for people from the finance background who did not have that technical background, so to say, as a coder or as a developer. They wanted someone from the real life financial world, but who has interest in technology. So then I joined, I gave an interview, and fortunately I got selected there. And then I started working with them, and that's when my world opened up. I came from that tier 2 city. I went to Mumbai, and I was working with companies like TCS, and then I moved on to Ernst & Young as well. But then one fine day, I got a call from Singapore that there's an opportunity with an Australian bank, Macquarie Bank, actually. And they were looking for someone who could help them with their calculations and strategies on financial leasing. And they like whatever skill they wanted, I had that skill. And it was just a coincidence. And I thought it's a great opportunity, so let's explore.
Wow.
And that's how I landed up here.
Wow, good. Like you came over here to help with the calculation of the banks. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, it was a massive project, and it was across 6
I can't even
countries in the
think
globe.
of telling bank how to calculate. Then, when you were here, did you face any challenges, like anything that you always felt like that has shaped you to what you are today?
Well, the good part of technology is that as I became part of the technology and the financial world, especially here in Australia, um, the world is like there is no end to it. There is this massive area where you can put your expertise in, and I was always working with these two areas, technology as well as finance. I was keeping in touch with both areas. I was a domain specialist in the finance, but I was helping with the technology to the top leadership, actually C-level executives, in determining their strategies and their financial evolution or financial footprint in the particular software. So I was working always with those ideas and goals, but throughout my corporate life, I always wanted to do something on my own as well, something different where I can shape whatever I think of my dreams and vision. That's what I wanted. So it's just more of a process of learning. Of course, everywhere there were challenges. I went through the period of GFC as well, and it was not so nice experience. But then, I overcome them. And then during the period of just before the COVID, I thought this is probably the right time, to jump onto something to do my own. And
There was a calling for you.
yes, yes,
Yes.
definitely.
So I have a big question, which I always think, and because when we talk about accountant, I feel that they are the very core person to my life who helps me to build the wealth. Yes, there are financial advisors, there are other people, property strategists, everything, but your accountant is your core. Like they hold your back. They are always. So there's a question that always viewers ask me, and there is a lot of people ask me, when is the right time to talk to an accountant about your wealth building, about your retirement, and about you being rich? Is it when you are in 60s or you're in 30s to 40s, or when you are just starting your career?
The day you are born, the very first day of your life, where you come into being. Someone should start planning around you for financial. Of course, if you are
Wow.
a newborn child, you cannot do that planning. Your parents should do that, but the process starts there. But again, it's never too late. Whenever you think that whenever you get the opportunity, you should jump onto it. You should start planning financially. You should create strategies. Of course, you should have goals in life, what you want to achieve, or what you need basically to, so to say, you can say, retire comfortably, whatever be your choice. And of course, if you have ambition to achieve something in life, like building a company, building a business, then you should plan accordingly. Things don't happen always automatically. Well, some people get opportunities, and sometimes things happen by accident, by chance. But then things do need planning as well. If you are not ready to grab the opportunity at the right time, then you become like you fall behind miles. In India, what happens when the kind of people I was around working with there, I realized the business community there, we call them Marwadis there, they follow this path from the very first day in their life. As soon as a child is born, they start a bank account with them. They start tax planning strategies around them. There's a concept of Hindu undivided family there. They make use of that. They start, with that approach from the day one, and that's the result they get when by the time they are 18 or 20, they already have a background in terms of financial presence on which they can capitalize. They can start a business. They can they can do whatever they want basically.
Right, right. So if somebody is just starting out of uni and is just starting the like, what kind of discussion should that person, that young person, girl or woman or boy or man, young man, should have with the accountant? Like, what I feel is most of the accountants, they're not responsive, they're reactive. Something happens, they react. But I have seen you responsive. You have always been very vocal about all the things that's happening. And whenever I had a discussion, you had your, I always get a good input from you. So what kind of discussions should these young people should start with their accountant right now?
Well, they should first of all understand how the money works, how the financial world work. Unfortunately, the concept of taxation, it creates a very negative impression on people. Most of the people,
Yeah.
90% of the people think that taxation is a burden on them, and that's why they don't want to discuss about it. They don't want to understand it. They don't want to utilize that as a strategy. Taxation is our responsibility to the world. If we are earning money, or of course everyone should be earning money, and then they should contribute in their own way through these taxes. That's how that concept is. But people just avoid that discussion. People just think that if I avoid, I will pay minimum tax, or I'm not taking that burden. But that's not the case. You have to pay the tax, but then you can strategically plan your financial affairs to utilize that to your advantage. And of course, accounting is not only about taxation, it is about growth, it's about investments, it's about shaping your future, how you want to grow your money and grow your business, career aspirations. So, and here, not only here, everywhere in the world, when we are early in the age, like we're doing a job, we think that we don't have much of the things to do with finance, so we don't need to go to an accountant. We'll just lodge our tax return, whatever is minimum is required, we will do, and we'll be happy. We will probably save around, let's say, $100 or $150, whatever it is. But our idea should be to discuss with an accountant whenever we get an opportunity to discuss how we can take advantage of the financial opportunities. The government has thousands of schemes which we are not aware of in every country. The government always wants to give some benefit to the people. The government always encourages entrepreneurs or business owners who can create wealth, who can give jobs to others. The people should be can say proactive to take those opportunities.
Correct.
And to take these opportunities, they need to understand them, and that's what they should discuss with an accountant. Visiting an accountant or getting an advice from an accountant is a bit difficult, in the sense that they are also very busy. They are professionals. They don't have free time. They are not just going to talk to you just like that. And it's very difficult to get that time of theirs, basically. It's not that they don't want to. It is just that they have to mind their own work as well. So when there is an opportunity for us as an individual, when we are young, to lodge our tax returns, or maybe to take a financial step ahead, we should utilize that opportunity to talk to an accountant.
Correct.
If required, talk to a financial advisor. If you feel well, you can talk to other finance professionals how you can shape. For example, in Australia, the biggest dream we have is to buy a house. And for that, we need to discuss with the mortgage brokers as well, how we can shape our financial affairs, how we can create a discipline in our financial routine, so that we can achieve that goal as soon as possible.
No, that's absolutely right. What he said right now, there's another takeaway from here, which I really loved it, that when you are young, we don't care about money. We don't care about tax. We just want to do it, just get it done. But it is the right time to think about what you can do, what you can build for your future. So, and as the accountants are very, very busy in their life, they would obviously not have time. But if you are in connect at any time with an accountant, have your chat around these things. This will help you out. I like people like me who are in their 30s and 40s. Okay, I don't want to say this. I'm still in my 17, but let's think.
Let's assume you're 30.
Yeah, let's assume I'm 30s. So, so people that are in 30s and 40s. So what kind of thing, because it's a peak period. You're not going to work till you're 100, right?
Yes.
It's a peak period. You're working, you have family, you have responsibilities of your parents, then you have responsibility of your kids. and also to grow wealth. There's so many things around. So how do you see this generation coping with all these things? Are they doing the right things? Or what can be done in this place? Or what are the 5 steps that should be taken right now to shape the future of this generation? You see, AI is here. We have so many things happening. There are a lot of people those are getting out of job. A lot of things are happening. And right now it's all chaos. We don't know what is happening next time, next
Yes.
day. So what are the 5 things people should think about right now?
Well, first of all, they should take care of their health. Health is the biggest asset one does have. So, if you say top 5 things in life, is one of the most important thing is health, and of course, your work, your career, what you want to learn, what you want to work on. Of course, those are the things. But in terms of the financial world, first thing is that we need money. That's the reality. At the end of the day, everything else is fine, but we need money to survive.
Correct.
We need money to build our home. We need, even to maintain relationship. In real life, we need money. So let's not avoid that topic. It's not that if I am not thinking about money means I'm great. It's not that. It's just a part of your career planning. If I am not planning about money means I am keeping that hole. It's a big gap in my life. Even though I am in terms of technologically, I am very highly qualified, doing a great job, or maybe in terms of knowledge in any other subject, I am a very thorough professional. I have deep knowledge, but still you need to plan about money. Whether you are a professional athlete, whether you are a professional business owner, of course, business owners need to plan about money in any case. We have to plan about money. In money, there are 2 important things. We have to focus on both of them. None of them can go with just one hand. One is the saving. Saving money is actually helps you accumulate wealth, and to keep the wealth, avoiding from the wastage, so to say. And then, of course, you need strategies to grow as well. So we need to think about both these forms of strategy. One is the saving. So when you are especially at the age of, let's say, 30, or maybe doing the first job, our first goal should be to save money. Stop wasting money on things that we don't need, or that are probably not so important, so to say. Just starting with maybe just simply having home cooked food, rather than spending in takeaways or maybe restaurants, or wherever we can. We can have our own food, or maybe just manage with the things in a bit of economical way, so that we can save money. At least if we can save at least 20 to 30%, that should be the minimum. Then we can plan for other things, like investing in some shares, or maybe just having in some fixed deposits, or different. There are so many other products, but just to create a habit of saving, so that then we can utilize it as a capital for the next big thing. Let's say if you want to do a business, then you need money. If you want to buy a home, then you need a deposit. So saving should be the first thing. And secondly, how we can grow that. If you are interested, you can talk to a financial advisor, or do some your own research and studies. But start with something small at least, and have a long-term financial goal. In Australia, it is possible to get a good home by 30. That is still possible if you start early. As I mentioned, like if you start saving some money, and if you have some background and help from, let's say, your parents or something, and then as soon as you start your job, you start saving more through your superannuation. It is possible to get your first home, especially with the kind of schemes the government is coming up nowadays. You just need 5% of the amount as a deposit. So you can target to have that as soon as possible, to get into your first home as soon as possible, and then from there you can build on some other.
I've met somebody, you know her, Sarita Burma.
Yep.
So she told me a very good thing. She has taught her fourth son one thing: as soon as possible, buy your first home. Because it's not only about buying your first home, it's also about the investment. The sooner you start, the sooner you're more responsible with your money. And he really liked that idea. I bought my first home when I was young. I was 25, 26, I think, 26. But I'm just saying, and that made me very responsible to think that because I was earning very good. I was an IBM and all. And then I was working in Singapore. We had no kids, two young person working. But we could never think of money to waste money in any form because we had house. We had to put through the AMI. So that made us more responsible. Not that we didn't. We had a lot of tours. We came to Australia as a tourist from Singapore. We had been to Thailand, all Southeast Asian country. We traveled extensively. Now also we travel extensively. But that is something which gives us peace, happiness. So we keep doing it. But other than that, you will not see like